Hello, everyone. My name is Laura. I am a licensed psychotherapist and I own a private practice that practices in New Jersey, Florida, Maine, and District of Columbia, also known as DC. Okay, I'm also a licensed insurance agent. Okay, so let's get into the video. So, the reason I'm making this video today is I have been practicing how to surrender into divine joy. So those of you who know who Sophia is, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you don't, check out the Sophia Code by Kaya Ra. If you are into deep, very deep spiritual books. But let's get into this video. Surrendering into divine joy. Surrendering into the higher will of your high heart, of your higher self. It's something that takes a little practice, because when I think about just choosing to accept joy, it seems like who wouldn't just want to accept joy? It's so easy. It can be for some or a few, but not everyone. Surrendering into divine joy, I personally noticed that it really, really involves putting aside what you think will bring you joy, putting aside what you have been conditioned to believe is supposed to bring you joy, and allowing your divine creator, your higher self, to not only carve the path for you to walk on to experience your highest vibration of joy, but also to be in a neutral, non-resistant state as this occurs. So I hope I'm making sense, but divine joy is something that is not as simple as just the emotion of, oh, I'm joyful. Divine joy is a joy that you feel at the core of your being. It's a joy that you feel intoxicated by. Divine joy involves looking into the shadows. If you do not see what's keeping you from experiencing this divine joy, how can you attend to it? How can you shift it, remove the obstacle, so that a divine joy can pour in through your entire being and your entire existence and your life? So looking into these shadows, shadow work, looking at your inner child. We can have many different inner childs or inner children within us from different ages of our incarnation, of our being, of our experience. Looking at your inner teen, looking at your adult self in different phases, your inner adults, looking at the things that we have tried to bury before. Divine joy, I am now realizing, is something that is not just a journey, but it's one that requires so much patience with yourself, but also allowing yourself to be without judging whatever state that you are currently in. Lately, I have realized that our conscious mind, or our thinking mind, or get things done monkey brain, doesn't always know what we need to experience this divine joy. It think it does, but that's not always true, that it actually knows what we need on a deep soul level to make that happen. But our subconscious mind, or unconscious, our infinite aspect of ourselves, knows. But the things that we bury and repress are in the way of us having that connection to the subconscious mind and receiving that true knowledge, that true guidance from within and from the most high vibration, from the source of all that is, to actually create a life and experiences that embody that divine joy, from our friends, from what we do for work, from our passions, from what we like to eat and how we even eat. Are we mindfully eating? Or are we rushing? From anything else like exercise, activities that keeps us in a high vibrational state. All of that matters. So today I challenge anyone that's listening or watching this video. Pick one way that you are going to practice being still. Being still doesn't mean not having thoughts, but being still means being present. Being present allows you to be more grateful. Being grateful allows you to transmute the opposite energy of lack, not having enough. Transmuting that energy allows the emotions attached to the lack and not having enough start to transmute as well. Now you have more space. You have more space for not just gratitude, but you have more space for emotions attached to gratitude. You have more space to realize and experience your present moment in a completely different awareness, in a different way that you haven't noticed it to be before. And now all of a sudden you have space for divine joy to flood your life, your being, your nervous system. It's a process that doesn't happen overnight, and I'm definitely simplifying it in this video. But just summarizing it this way, I hope it helps someone to start cultivating and being intentional with what you are creating, with what you are experiencing, with receiving assistance from Source, the Most High, all that is, the Creatrix, from your higher self, to make this divine joy a way of life for you. I am currently studying Chinese medicine, which I stated in my last video, and studying TCM to become an acupuncture physician. It's one of those, it's a journey that I never planned on being on. But the moment that I received the idea from my higher self, I knew that it was a soul calling immediately. It has not been an easy journey. It has not been a journey that involves no work. It honestly has been a very, very shifting journey, to say the least. It has been kind of like a paradigm shift, honestly. But it's so worth it. And reorganizing my life to being in school once more and studying something completely different from psychotherapy, from psychology, sociology, social work. Although it merges and marries into it, it's not something that I planned on doing, but I can see how and why this path has come into my reality, into my creation, into my life and my experience. And I know it is something that has been highly ordained. It has been divinely orchestrated, the way it fell into my lap and the way things occurred at such a fast pace, and the way I've been so immersed, submerged into traditional Chinese medicine. It's something that I can't even explain to someone who hasn't experienced something similar. I thought I knew all of my soul's purpose and all that I am here to do. But the more I surrender and allow myself to be present, the more I receive additional layers to this purpose. And these layers that I am receiving are layers I never even thought of, yet they have been bringing me more joy than I could have ever imagined. a joy that is at a frequency that I haven't experienced prior. And now I have realized that although I know what brings me joy, the higher self, the divine creatrix, all that is, knows the things that bring my entire self joy, my soul, my eternal being joy. And that is something that I have been discovering, and I am so grateful. I am so grateful to be in this stage of my journey. But I know I'm not the only one who can experience it. And as this divine joy continues to grow and expand and magnify more and more in my life and in my being and in what I experience, feel, and think, in the actions I take, in what I receive, in what I allow, in the boundaries that I set, it just continues on. The divine joy is infinite. There are no limits on when the divine joy has reached its maximum potential. As I expand, the divine joy expands with me, and I experience another layer, another dimension, another aspect of bliss that I didn't think existed. So although I fought tooth and nail, to surrender to divine joy, to face my shadow selves, to face my inner parts. In internal family systems therapy, we call it the parts, which are different aspects of ourselves. You can see in a spiritual sense, like fractals of you. In a shamanic sense, when you do soul retrievals, the fractals, those are parts in a psychology term. So facing those different parts of me at different stages of my life, different ages and different situations, even different lifetimes, it's necessary. And facing them doesn't mean holding them, this is time for judgment. Why didn't you do this? Or why? No, facing them mean looking into those aspects of me, looking into their eyes, looking into that aspect of me and my heart at that point in my life, and holding pure compassion, neutrality, and unconditional love for me and all the things that I thought were flaws or mistakes and etc. And that took practice. I'm not even going to lie. It took a lot of practice. But now that I'm here and I have been consistently holding that space for me for it's been a long minute, quite a while, honestly. I've gotten to this place where I realize I did not need to be the judge and, what's the word? I'm trying to find the word. Basically the one who condemns me for anything. That is not what I needed. What I needed was unconditional love, acceptance, and to be seen and heard by myself. And to see and hear the parts of me that carry emotions of sorrow, pain, and other deep, intense emotions that I would have rather stay buried. But I realized unburying them is the only way to clear that stagnant energy, to clear that block, to create more space, to receive more of my eternal truth, more of my divinity, more of my sovereign self, and more of my divine inheritance, which is eternal divine joy. So this journey is one that I am so glad that I chose, which I really feel the journey chose me, but whichever way you want to look at it, because it is something that money cannot buy. It is something that no matter what blessings I receive in the physical world that I am so grateful for, these blessings cannot create or buy this thing, which is divine joy in all situations, regardless of what's going on in my external reality, regardless of the challenges, mistakes that I think I'm making, or what life is throwing at me. It is it's an omnipresent energy, always here, and I'm choosing to always be in touch with it. emotions are more than just a feeling, they're energy in motion. And the blocks of emotions from my past that are stagnant, that are not emotion, all they do is all they did was drag me down. All they did was create a block for other positive emotions that are supposed to be in motion coming towards me into my field to not have space to be in. So allowing these emotions to actually be in motion, clearing them, is the best thing that I've done. So I just wanted to empower others today, making this video and just speaking from my heart on divine joy and just what divine joy can bring you. The things that divine joy can bring you that no one else can. Divine joy can bring you a sense of empowerment, self-worth, confidence that you could not find, or I could not find, in anything else. Joy that other people bring into my life. It's great. I love it. I receive it. But it's nothing compared to the divine joy that literally intoxicated every cell in my body, every organ, every bone, every aspect of my body, my mind, my being. Just submerges all of me in it. And there's no going back. It just continues to grow and evolve. I'm looking forward to see where divine joy takes me next. And I hope if you are interested in experiencing divine joy that you choose to take the first step. Just one step. You don't have to get from step 1 to 1,000. Just take the first step and look at yourself in the mirror. Look into your eyes and just acknowledge your presence. Acknowledge your being. Acknowledge that you are a divine, sovereign being that can experience all that you desire, including the energetic states that you desire. Just acknowledge it. And just watch how little clues start to pop into your awareness to help you remember and experience that sovereign, divine self, your divine, eternal truth. And those clues continue to expand and expand and expand. And then you start to have a routine. And the routine becomes a way of life. And so forth and so forth. Thank you so much for watching this video or listening to this video. I hope divine joy floods over you if that is your desire. Wishing you love. Make sure to subscribe and like my video. Until next time.